Hi, Kris and Tiersa with the Preferred Experience podcast. Welcome to episode 4. We're excited to get started today and introduce Tiersa on the podcast. So today we're going to be discussing our nutrition program at CrossFit Preferred and what all it holds for you.
Yep. So you want me to just take it away, or?
Sure, let's do it. Tell us a little bit. Why are you good at nutrition?
Okay. So a lot of you guys know me already, but those that don't, nutrition is kind of my passion. It's kind of the thing that I've always been interested in. I went to school at ASU for nutrition, and I get the opportunity at CrossFit Preferred to help others with learning how they can introduce good nutrition and how it helps them in the gym, not just in the way that they look, but in the way that they perform. And so that is something that I've kind of learned how to do for myself, and now I get to teach others how to do it as well. And so we've kind of developed a program here at CrossFit Preferred to help you and others find what works best for their bodies and figure out how to make this part of their lifestyle and not just a quick fix thing. And honestly, just to give a little bit of background on me, the things I know now I wish I knew when I was in my 20s. The reason is because I went through years of, having babies and gaining weight and then crash dieting to get the weight off. And it really messed my metabolism up. So by the time I was done having babies, we have 5 kids. By the time I was done with that, this was in 2013, we had our twins. So about 2014 is when I really started learning about macronutrients and learning how to change the way that I look at food and the way that I get the physical results that I wanted while still having the energy in the gym. And I honestly didn't know that you could lose body fat and gain muscle at the same time. I thought you had to choose one or the other. And I think there's a lot of people out there that feel the same way. And so I want to help people understand that you don't have to choose. You can do both. In fact, we just finished our 6-week nutrition challenge here at CrossFit Preferred that we're going to talk about a little bit later in the podcast. And I've been doing in-body scans all morning, the last 2 mornings, and it has been really cool to see so many of our members lose body fat and put on muscle at the same time because they've learned how to focus on the right nutrition and not just cut calories to get the results. Yeah. So
didn't we have somebody that lost 11 pounds of fat and still gained muscle?
We've had a couple. We had one in particular. I'm not going to reveal the source yet because our competition is still going, and we'll announce who our winners are on Friday. But we had one person lose 15 pounds of fat and gain 5 pounds of muscle
in 6 weeks. It's crazy.
Through macro tracking. Now, there's a lot of different ways to get the results that you want. And macro tracking is one way, and it's something that we have found works well. But there's other options as well. And so that's something that I focus on when I meet with people is just meeting them where they're at and just challenging them to push outside their comfort zone.
So how do we, when somebody starts here at the gym, how do we do our nutrition consult?
Okay, so because we have learned that it's so important to pair good nutrition with what you're doing in the gym, when you sign up as a member of CrossFit Preferred, you get a one-on-one nutrition consultation with myself. We put you on our in-body scanner, which tells us how much muscle mass and fat mass you have and gives us an idea of where you're starting. And then I sit down with you and we talk about what you've done in the past and what you're doing currently nutritionally, what's worked for you, what you like and don't like, if you have any food restrictions, stuff like that. And then we just set a realistic goal. We talk about long-term goals. Sometimes people have really ambitious goals, and that's great. And then we kind of break it down and set some shorter goals, something that they can attain within 6 weeks to 3 months. And based off of what their goal is, we have a couple options. And so we, like I said, we just finished our 6-week nutrition challenge. This is this is our second time doing this challenge, and because of the success and because of the growth of the gym, we've decided that we're going to hold this 6-week challenge 2 other times in the year. So we have our one that we started at the beginning of the year, which is our New Year, New You challenge. And then we are going to have our second challenge to kind of introduce it to all our new members that have joined since the beginning of the year. And it will be our Summer Shred Challenge, a 6-week challenge, and it'll start on April 4th. And so all of those that are new to the gym and missed our challenge that started in January, or if you really love the January challenge and feel like you still have a little bit of progress to make, you can join this challenge. And so we'll talk about just some of the things that the challenge offers for you. I think one of the biggest things is the camaraderie, and being a part of a team, especially if you have been CrossFitting, you understand what that accountability does. It's so important to have somebody to answer to, because it's too easy to give up on our goals when we don't tell anyone about it, or if we just keep it to ourselves. And in fact, I remember something maybe you told me about a couple ways to make sure you hit your New Year goals, and one of those is to tell somebody about it. Mm-hmm. And so by being a part of a team, so everybody that does the 6-week challenge is part of a team, and you're not just accountable to yourself, you're accountable to your team, and they help you to be successful and to get over those humps that come. This morning I met with one of our members, and she told me that she just felt like there were so many things during the challenge that kept her, or that were tempting for her to kind of give up on the challenge. She had many things in her life come up, and events and other things like that. And as I listened to her talk about these things, I thought to myself, that's everyday life. Like, this past 6 weeks wasn't any different than any other time in her life. She was just more aware of the events and of the challenges because she was trying to follow a healthy program of eating. And so in reality, we all have things every day come up in our lives, and we just have to learn how to cope with them in a healthy way and to develop habits that are healthy, that are going to become habits, which are things that we do without thinking about them. And it does take a little bit of time, but over the course of the 6 weeks, our goal is to help you to be able to feel like you're a little bit more confident in your ability to stick to those habits.
And ways to work through those times that are a little harder.
Yeah.
Or celebrations, or if you plan for it, it works out.
Yes.
Well.
Yeah. There's always going to be events. I mean, I can't think of a single month where there's not a single event. So you just have to learn how to get through those. So the 6-week nutrition challenge, it starts with an in-body scan, which tells us how much muscle mass and fat mass you have. We do pictures and measurements, and then it ends with an in-body scan. So we pay attention not only to fat loss but muscle gain, and then we get an in-body score, and that's how we determine the progress that you've made, also off of the inches that you've lost. And what's been really cool is to see how some people's scale didn't move a lot. I had one guy lose 5.5 pounds of fat and gain 5.5 pounds of muscle, and he weighed exactly the same.
I've had
but
that
his
happen
body
before.
composition changed, and his muscle and his inches changed. So that, to me, is so exciting, because for years I put so much emphasis on what that number on the scale was. I was so stuck on this number that it needed to be, and I have learned that it's not about that. It's about what my body fat percentage is and how I feel and how I'm performing in the gym. So as you go on and kind of learn your body, it stops becoming about the way you look and more about how you feel in the gym and how you're performing. And that's kind of where I'm at personally, is I want to be able to perform at my best. And to do that, I know where I need to be. And it's a motivator to me. It's more than just the way I look. Even though the summer season is coming in Arizona, it's more about how I'm performing. So the 6 weeks challenge starts with the in-body scan, ends with the in-body scan. You get access to our private Facebook nutrition group that has a ton of tips and tricks and recipes. I have an 8-week nutrition meal plan on there that you have access to. You also get 10% off of our Driven product that we sell here, that we absolutely love. You get weekly check-ins with your coach, and that accountability like we talked about. So that's one option that we have here. Our second 6-week challenge is going to be in September, kind of after...
Third.
What?
The third one for the year?
Yes, our third. Sorry.
Yep.
Our third nutrition challenge is in September. And kind of after those summer pounds have crept back on and before the CrossFit Open. So it's our Open Preps challenge. And we're excited for that because I know I tend to let loose a little bit in the summer. So this will be a good motivator for me right before the Open. So our 6-week challenge is an option that you have here with us. And then we also offer one-on-one nutrition coaching. Our one-on-one nutrition coaching is sold in 3-month increments. It is more custom-based. We give you custom macros. We do teach really, really important things about macronutrients and how your body responds to different percentages, and everybody is different. And so some people do really well on high fat, some people do well on high carbs, and we just kind of manipulate the macros for you so we can determine what works best for you based off of how you're performing and how your body is changing. You still get those weekly check-ins, but they are one-on-one. You still have access to that private Facebook nutrition page. We give you recipes and we give you a food list. And you are checking in. Did I already say that? You're checking in weekly?
Yep, checking in weekly. And you have a small group that you're doing it with. You'll have other people in there that'll
with the
be pushing
one-on-one?
you. Yeah, with the one-on-one, you usually have a few people that are doing it at a time.
Yeah, but it's more specialized. And it's an awesome tool if you have maybe you've already done the 6-week challenge, but you're looking to improve some more and want that one-on-one attention, and so we have that available as well. So that's kind of what we offer here, and the results that we've seen have been so awesome. I'm just so glad that we have that knowledge and that we're able to share it with you guys. And if you guys ever have more questions about what we offer, I would love to sit down with you and just go over some of the things that I know and sometimes take for granted a little bit. But yeah, I think that's about it.
Cool. That's awesome.
Did you have anything you wanted to add?
Well, one thing she left out is she does really good on nutrition. And this last weekend she did a Spartan race and just crushed it. She did really well. She came in top 5 in her age group, which was pretty huge. So awesome job on that.
Thank you.
It's fun seeing all the things you can do with nutrition and the right training. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely.
So, if you have anyone that is looking to improve nutritionally or in the gym physically, we'd love for you to invite them over here for a free one-on-one intro session. And we appreciate you listening today. And please subscribe to our new podcast. It's fun. So thank you for being here today. We'll see you. Bye.